my work, I've always been interested in how space influences social structures. The world in which we live is shaped by spaces. Every space has psychosocial potential. The atmosphere of this space is quite similar to the one of my studio in Berlin, where there is a workshop. Every day we collaborate and we experiment and we build things and so on. This has been going on for a while, and for me an artist studio is like a small parliament. It's a place where we make reality, we make decisions, and the decisions has consequences for the world. About a year ago, February 2016, I was working on a show in Austria, in Vienna, and that was right at the time where there was a sudden increase in the refugees coming to Europe because of the war in Syria, primarily. And at the time, I thought to make a response to this situation. And the idea was really to take what I'm good at. My studio, the life in the studio, the workshop, building things, working, and maybe use this format as a strategy where we could sit together and address questions of language, learning, sharing ideas. And out of this, the first version of the Greenlight workshop started. So in this room there will be in periods about 20 participants. The participants are forced migrants of very different backgrounds. They're from very different countries. Primarily they are from sub-Saharan African countries. A few people are from Middle Eastern background, from Syria, Iraq, and there is even, I believe, a few Asian people here as well. What we will do here is, first of all, building the Greenlight. And for a donation, you can receive the Greenlight, and the money goes back into the workshop. And the workshop is then language courses, learning Italian or English. It's also, though, psychological counseling or legal counseling, and it is addressing questions which is related to being a migrant. This is the Greenlight, and if you look at it, you can see it's actually a cube. One wall here, and then two horizontals here. So that's why it also works as a module. You can stack it, or you can build structures with it. So it has a geometry that really has to do with space. It's not just an object, it's a part of a system. And I thought that was a great narrative for the Greenlight workshop, because it's not about singular people, it's really about systems. How do we react as a system? So when you sit at a table and work, it's a lot easier to do with 4 hands than with 2 hands. So the idea of collaborating, can you hold this, and can I, and this idea that we sit in front of people and we collaborate, so you're not alone, and being also quite conscious about building a work of art. And when Christine Marcel explained me the idea for the biennial being about the process of the artist, the process of the artist studio, the making of art, I thought that's interesting, because I actually think the creative impact onto the world is not when you're done doing what you thought about. It is the consequences of taking all the small steps.